hope you're having an amazing day. I'm just going to pick a nice background for us, right? It's all about the money, right? It's all about capitalism in the US. What is going to happen? And I'll get the chat up on the other window here. I hope that you have had a great trading day. Today feels a bit more like a positioning day to me. So I'm definitely getting ready for big moves, and we will look at some stocks as to what will likely happen with the vaccine, right? What is going to happen with the vaccine moving forward? Where are we going from here with the market? Let's take a look with where we are going to move forward with the market. And I'm just going to invite people on Twitter, come join me live, right? I was listening to Michael Franti today. Amazing. Love his stuff. He's so positive and love listening to it. And so I also posted his song today. It was my theme song that came on from Google with my music about the vaccine. There we go. All right. 2 more seconds, guys. And we are ready. Hi, Christy. Thank you. Thank you. Also, I wanted to let everyone know that is a Canadian follower. I did hear back from Tastyworks. They are still holding their meeting come the 24th of November. However, they might not be in Canada until first quarter of 2021. So that is just a reminder that I have been following up with that. If anybody has any issues, I will put the link for people to sign up down below if you want me to keep you informed as well. I definitely want to see them come to Canada, hopefully revolutionize the commission structure in Canada, much like Thinkorswim and Charles Schwab did as well. All right, so let's look at the indexes. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, John. Let's look at the indexes and see where we could go from here. I was doing a whole bunch of CMT studying this weekend. And yeah, John, that's right. Let's do this. So we have obviously gapped up, right? And last time we came up here and we gapped up, we failed, right? So is this going to be another gap and fail? Is this a new peak for us to sell from? Let's draw a little trend line over here from the high here to the high here. And I'm going to turn off the left side. So we will see the left side is turned off. So we know that that's where I started it, right? Is this going to be a sell the pop scenario, right? What does the vaccine mean to the US? Yes, likely people will be able to get back to work, get back to normal life somewhat. However, they're saying that right now, they're only really going to probably have vaccines for the elderly, the most high risk people, come the end of December. The rest of the US by the end of March, beginning of April. So that means it could still be a very tough winter. When we look back at the Spanish flu, the second wave that happened over the winter was really the worst one. Supposedly there have been over 275 different strains of the COVID-19 coronavirus. And that is difficult to combat, right? It's like a flu virus. It's going to take time to figure out, sorry, my legs are cold. I'm just gonna get my blanket here. That it's gonna take time to figure out the exact strain. Up here, I'm starting to see a bit of an M setup. Do you guys see this? Or a double top? It was not really able to hold above 362. So I would really watch that area for today, likely a gap down to come. And let's look at the Qs. So the Qs were the weakest. I was doing my studying, learning all about market breadth, everything. You guys can see it over here. I have the ADR, the advance to decline ratio going on. Looks overextended. The RSI, we're right around 57. And that's interesting, right? That we're really setting up, almost hitting new peaks, but we're not really hitting new peaks on the RSI. Sometimes that'll be an indication that that might be, which one looks like a big nose? On the 45-minute chart over here? ASIF? Yeah, sure, Kyle. Happy to add Peloton on here. And we also have Zoom on the list today. Zoom, which really, if everybody is no longer working from home, right? All of these major tech stocks were doing really, really well. That they were lifting up the indexes, right? The Qs very heavily related to the strong stocks pulling it up. Well, I was also studying Elliott wave theory, and it's almost like we have, this is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then are we going into A, B, C, and then we're going to surge up later? Is this move to the downside just looking at all the charts, or was this was maybe A, B, C, and now we're in 1, 2, 3, 4, nope, but the 4 wouldn't, go all the way back to the bottom of 1, 5, and then this is corrective, A, B, and then potentially a C down here. So looking at all that, all those studies, everything, that right now, we're almost setting a triple top right here, right? If we could break out above 300, that would be a great level potentially to go long and strong, because we're setting up new highs. That means the market's likely going to break out. But watch out, if we come down and we create this triple bottom area down here, we had upside down head and shoulders, we surged higher, we came down and tested this level, but we never came back down to these lows. This area of 263, 262, if we break down from there, could be a nasty, nasty winter in the market, right? A lot of, let's look at Apple. Apple was on the list as a short for today. Let me see if I can pull it up over here. Where is this going to show? I'll pull it up. And remember, today, my watch list is on sale down to 65%. All right, if you guys want to test it out, it is 65% at cjanetrade.com with the reveal promo code. All right, and let's go to my list for today. So I'll show it to you guys. Where is it going to pop up? Right there, right exactly where I wanted it for you. So here we have Myrna, Wynn, CCL, AAL, Jets. People will likely travel more. Hotels will do better, likely. The airlines would likely do better. The cruise ships would likely do better. The tech stocks, and hey, is everybody going to go out and need to buy a new computer so they can work from home? No. So Apple, Zoom, also have the Chinese stocks, the NIO, XPEV, and Lee on watch for breakdowns with their overextension, almost parabolic moves that we had last week. So looking at Apple, over here, it almost looks like we might have a cup and handle set up if we can break above 122 area, right here, 121.50. If we could break above there, then we might have a projected move up, right up here, right? However, if we pull back and we drop down, there's a chance that we could end up really pulling back and pulling back hard, right? Yes, we have a new president-elect. I don't know if it's really been officially confirmed. However, the numbers seem to make sense with the Electoral College, unless there's a lot of dispute that will happen. So will that also affect Apple? Remember, Apple and Microsoft are really the top holdings in the Qs, right? So we have Apple's up, Microsoft is flat, Amazon is down 13 points, Facebook, Google, Intel, and NVIDIA, those are all up. Well, Facebook's flat. Adobe's down, Netflix is down, Tesla's just flat on the day. But what was so interesting were all the Form 4s of the selling. A lot of people have the mentality that when a Democratic president takes over, it's not always good for the stock market, right? Republican presidents tend to create wealth in the stock market for their constituents, and that Democratic presidents don't. Generalization, right? So when we're looking, we have Apple, really big eyes on Apple right now. Microsoft as well, right? Are we going to surge higher? How strong does this chart look on the daily chart, right? It seems like we're going sideways. A bigger position for a bigger move. Let's back this one out on the left to a weekly chart. And we have the volume dropping, right? We have an upward bound of 228 and a lower bound of 197. Well, are we going to come down from here? There is that chance, right? There is that chance that we will reject and come back down. We're in a bit of a triangle. Hey, let's do our measurements, right? Here is the height of the triangle, 35 points. If we break out to the upside, I would add roughly 35 points to the upside for my potential target. If we break down, 35 points to the downside. So that would bring us roughly back down here, right? If we broke away from 206 minus 35, 167 area, right? Which is roughly down here. If we break down, now if we go higher and we break out, then yeah, we might be seeing 250 for Microsoft, new all-time highs for the market. But Apple and Microsoft are really, they're not looking that super healthy to me. They're not continuing to surge up. They are still in an upward rise on the weekly chart. It's still going upwards in that sense. But I'm going to flatten this because this is telling me that maybe, all right, we've got that there. We go to one last week. Will we break out above, or are we going to have another selling top here? Will this be more positioning? Hey, we sold, this was a high, then we sold off, we came below that, we came below it here, and this is more positioning, and we have the dropping of the volume right here. It's not an indication necessarily that they want it to surge higher, right? They being the buyers of the market might start to be more cautious. And if we drop down below over here, I'm going to put it from right here to right here, right? Well, if we drop down below 111, I would be extra cautious. So $9 to the downside right now for that confirmation. Not a lot of super high volume and breaking a trend line today. So very cautious on the market right now, in my opinion. Let's also just check VXX for fun. Because you know, I mentioned it before. I said, hey, watch these prints that we had. We're definitely below them. And now that's a little bit of time ago, right? That was 1, 2, 3, almost a month ago. So will we come back and break above this trend line over here, break above 2120 on the shorter time frame, 2250? You guys know I use the 425 EMA. Apple 111 and 97. Market's so funny because I just messaged someone yesterday that I was doing point and figure charting. Was it yesterday or Saturday night? Point and figure charting and looking at Apple, and my target was 97. Would you believe that? It's interesting that you... Okay, so a gap down to 97. Kind of, yeah. If we look at this just as a big surge right here, it did break out, that we had more volume in the breakout of this resistance level, and it followed through with that breakout with the volume and surged higher. So I would say down roughly to 100, 99.53, but looking at point and figure, which has no additional analysis of time in it. I'm actually going to do a video on that. It has no time reference in it. It's solely reversals and price action. And my calculation was 97. So good eyes there, Mark. Good eyes. All right. I also wanted to show you guys TrendSpider. They're having their biggest sale that they've ever done. It started off at 65%. Now it's down to, I believe it's 55% today. And the links will be below when I'm done filling in the description, as soon as we're done this. And so let's look at Apple here too. And we'll pull it back on a daily chart and weekly chart and see if maybe there's a trend line there too that will show us the same scenario. So they have multiple time frame analysis. You can overlay your charts with trend lines and moving averages from prior. So you can see we have some trend lines here. Let's see. Let's lock this one. And what I also like, which is really cool, is you can see where all the volume lies. So you can anchor a particular day, and this will do a volume profile from this day forward, right? Where is the most volume right now? All right, point of control is down here at 78.86. Our volume weighted average price for all of the volumes since the low 7 months ago is 92.91. All right, well, let's look at it. And let's adjust this, if I can, over to the low that we had in June. Where is all of our volume? That does not look like it's really supporting volume right now. It looks like all of our volume, all of our volume is just below where we are, right? Right here, roughly at 115.69. So that's just taking into account the volume over the last 3 months and 3 days. Ooh, that's interesting. 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days since the last low. Isn't that interesting? Lots of threes there. Will this be a breakout above here, above this trend line up at 125.72? Or will we break down below this trend line at 113.69 and pull back down, right? And we're looking at that 97 area over here on the daily chart. Looks even more like it would test right here. Yeah, 97.84 roughly. So we might have a big pull down. Also, you can start to see that we had an M form. It is a little bit of Elliott wave there, ASIF. You see, if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, this is our 5, and maybe we're in a corrective wave. The hard thing that's so speculative is, like, where do you definitively pick the new wave to start? Was this a wave right here? And then this is corrective A, B, C, and this is a new wave of 1. It's not like, hey, this is your starting point. Or is this the start? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. I need to study it more for sure. But I see more of the triangles that are setting up, or a wedge, and look more at that. However, I can understand that Elliott wave would give you particular targets. All right, so I wanted to show that to you guys because they are having an amazing sale, the biggest one that they have all year. All right, let's go back to my list for today. And we added Peloton on here. If there's anything else you guys want to look at as well, let me know. So for today, Myrna, of course. Hey, Moderna, we have a 94% success rate as opposed to 90% with Pfizer. So they're 4% greater. They're searching for emergency FDA approval. So of the approvals that we have so far, Gilead has been approved. Pfizer has been approved. Eli Lilly with their antigen antibody cocktail has been approved. And Moderna is the next potential one. The news came out, sell the news, or buy the rumor, sell the news. Well, the news came out and now it's dropping, right? So I had it on my list. Hey, if we break below 98, keep an eye out. Yep, we came all the way down to 93. So nice potential short there. HDS, I took that off because that one is a buyout. So the other one that I threw in right there was Wynn. So Wynn, hey, casino, hotel, potential move, yes. However, it did pull back today, right after open. Well, not right after open, 9:15. It opened up and pulled back down. Why is it saying 9:15? Oh, it is pre-market. There we go. So it actually came lower pre-market, bounced up, found a high of 96, but it's looking a bit bearish on the day for today, right? But we are above this trend line. So we have a big gap to the downside. That's the weekly. Let's put it back on our daily. That's why I like the W's over here. All right, daily. And what is that? What is that pink line, guys? For those that have been following me, what is the pink line right here that we have on watch that was the upward bounds of resistance today? That we tested. Look at that. We totally tested that this morning, almost to the penny, 21 cents away, right? 425 EMA. And we saw with FedEx, they came up, they tested it, they danced around. If this has the ability to close above it, that could be a big sign that this is going to move up. We had the biggest volume day where it rejected it, it pulled back. Next biggest volume day came down here and we're above it. You got it, Mark. So Win is on watch as well. We also have the cruise lines, right? Carnival. Hey, if everybody can cruise, if the vaccine is out, that means more people are going to want to be traveling. Who is really enjoying being stuck at home? Are you enjoying being stuck at home? I am not enjoying being stuck at home, right? I want to travel. I want to go and see the world and enjoy things. However, I recognize that temporarily that is not possible. So doing the best with what we can, right? And connecting with you guys on YouTube. So here we are, CCL, surged higher, pulled back, still in that upward motion, hit the 200 simple moving average on the 24-hour chart. I'll bring it to the daily over here. Hit it on the daily chart as well. We had bigger volume on Friday. Maybe somebody knew what was going to happen and they bought a position on Friday. And it's surging higher. American Airlines is also in a bit of a wedge on the daily. It broke out above today and pulled back and tested it. More buying power came in this time when it pulled back and it's surging higher. Another one that I like, do have a position in as well, full disclosure, in jets. This is going to be a bit more diversified. You will find that when you go into an ETF, let's go to jets, ETF, database. Yeah, we'll look at Fossil, Al-Jahori, or Al-Hajori. Sorry, I mispronounced that. So we have Delta, Love, United, American, Allegiant, JetBlue, Air Canada, Alaska, CJT, SkyWest, Hawaii. So we have a lot of airlines in here, and it's a way to trade them a little bit more diversified, right? So this is a potential way to minimize risk with diversification here. Let's add Fossil on. All right, NEO had it on watch. NEO, I believe, had their earnings today, correct? Did they? Was it today or is it after hours? Yeah, it's tomorrow. All right, it's tomorrow for NEO. So they had the big surge up, had a little run to the upside today, up above. I said, hey, if we break above 43, potential move to the upside, yes, $2.80. Also have XPEV. Has a potential short. Well, ended up a little bit of a short earlier on. Let's put on the 15-minute chart over here. And then it gapped up, right? Where it seems as if it's holding up here at 44.50. We also have Lee as well, which is up higher on the day, pulled back to the moving averages, and then surged higher. Apple, we already spoke about. It's up on the day. And definitely on watch. It looks like it's ready to pop for a cup and handle. However, I would be extra cautious with this one. And I would wait and see. I'm not convinced that this is bullish with the descending volume to the upside. A signal that we might have a reversal. Right now, maybe if we have a massive crazy day, like a pop-up day like this, you can see it popped up, crazy volume, and then dropped really quickly. More volume came in at that reversal point, and now the biggest volume that we've seen since then was right here when it was selling off. So big sell-off day, big sell-off day, big sell-off day. Oh no, not that big of a sell-off day, excuse me. This one had the biggest volume prior to that right here. And look at where we're testing. Do you see that? We are testing pretty much this candlestick today with the price action. The opening price over here was 120.07, a high of 123.70. So I would look, are we going to break above 123.70? 122.50 really for that confirmation for me. And Zoom. Hey, if everybody's going back to work, what's going to happen to Zoom sales? Would likely drop. However, it had a surge up to the 50 simple moving average on the 15-minute chart, pulled back to the 20, bounced, and now it's just sort of trading with range-bound trading between 388, I would say, and 390. We have broken below the upward trend line over here. This was a more conservative upward trend line. Oh, should be down here. Didn't lock right there. So we're actually just above it. Correction on that one. And we're also just above this moving average right here. We do have the earnings coming up. They might have stellar earnings. I know that they are trying to create a talking type app for telephone calls, just regular telephone calls, much like WhatsApp or Facebook or Skype, and that they're trying to expand their reach by diversifying their products that they often offer. So that might be an incurred expense, even though they have great offers available, or they have great sales coming in already from their regular Zoom stuff. All right, Peloton. So let's check out Peloton here for Kyle. All right, so Peloton, let's just draw this over here. All right, it came and we tested the high over here, right? The resistance. And now it would look like we really need to break out back above right here. You can see that this was a resistance one time, it sold off and then surged up above. Once it broke above, it continued to go to the upside, right? Well, now we're coming back down and this now has turned into the upper bound. And you saw I drew that on the left chart over here. Look at how it's held up, right? It did hold a support for a while. It failed, boom, dropped down. This is now our new support level. Came up, tested it, rejected it, and now we're pulling back down. So keeping it on watch, are we going to break above 101.80 or will we break down below 96? Right now, the biggest volume came in, it seems, as if at the 50 simple moving average. Yeah, Gbtc is awesome. I'm going to have to, you guys remember on Mondays, I am on Ticker Talker. So I have to run in just about 1 minute for you guys to remind you of that. And I'm also recording the second episode of the podcast today. Very excited about that with Mish Snyder. All right, so over here, bounds that I would be watching for Fossil. Let's go back here and look at, okay, look at that. Hey, any wonder why 816 performed in the past? I didn't see this over here. I just drew it based on the chart. Yeah, 816, yep, that was the high. 881, yep, we've broken above that. We've broken above the 425. Do we have potential to move up? Ah, look at how it stopped up here. What was here? Prior resistance level, right? Maybe we could even move this up to 950. After 950, I would look up to 1035 as a potential target over here. We might find that this has selling volume come in, had massive volume here, definitely squeezed some shorts, came up. Remember, the higher the extreme, the faster it can fail. All right, so we did Fossil. Let's check Gbtc really quickly. Gbtc with Bitcoin breaking out, we have that super steep movement here. I did take some profits on it back at 1873 earlier today. And And so this is looking a bit extended to me. Might wait for it to come back down 70 cents or even further back down to this trend line right here, 1690. It's looking overextended. The volume is dropping off. Not as many people are buying into it, dropping off on the daily as well. So keeping all of that in mind, we had big volume right here with earnings. Everybody liked the earnings, it seems, with the price action that followed. Definitely breakout right here. Nice move up. Well, we're going to potentially hit that round number. Came almost close to it, 1887. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the top today, or 1892, and then we pull back. That 19, how many people do you think are set up to sell at 19? All right, play as well. So play, we have a doji day right now. Not a lot of volume. Biggest volume on the daily chart is back here. Had a selling spike. Does not look like they are able to hold it right now. If it closes below 23.20, would look for this to continue back to the downside. If this could overtake 25, that nice round number, hey, lots of people probably want to get out at 25 in their brain. So looking for it to break above 25 right now would keep it on watch. All right, guys, thank you for joining me today. I know it was really fast. I will put the links down below into the comment section if you guys are interested in checking out my watch list on sale, TrendSpider that's on sale. Also, TradingView is going to have their biggest sale coming up Black Friday. It's usually 60% off. And also Trade Ideas is having a test drive as well. So this week always offers a lot of great Black Friday deals, and I will put it in the comments below, so check it out. And as always, Carpe Profit, seize those profits one trade at a time, and I will see you tomorrow at 12:15 Eastern.